Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. You know, I get a lot of requests to do room decor or locker decor. And so one of the things that my sister stumbled upon the other day, my sister Frida, is that she came across these yarn covered letters. And I thought, well, those are awful cute. Those would be a great way to decorate your room and personalize maybe your door or hang them in your bedroom over your bed, you know, something fun like that. So it's pretty simple and I'm going to teach you how to make a yarn covered letter. For this project, you're going to need assorted yarn, washi tape, ribbons, clothespins, hot glue, an X-Acto knife, cardboard or foam core, and scissors. The thing about this project is that, you know, it's really up to you how you want to design your letters, how you want to make these look. Some people find that, you know, those big swoopy balloon letters work really well. Some people like more kind of asymmetrical, geometrical, symmetrical, whatever you would call those things. Lots and lots of angles. They like it that way. So it's up to you. And what you're going to do is basically draw your letter out on foam core. I like to make them, you know, half decent size. I mean, I would say at least maybe 6 to 8 inches, because when you're working with yarn, you know, you're going to have to get in and around it, and if it's too small, it could be a little hard. So you want to aim for a little bit of a larger letter. This one I think is about probably 14 inches. And what I'm going to do is just, once I've drawn my letter, I'm just going to cut it out with an X-Acto knife. And of course, always be careful with an X-Acto knife. But what I like too about these, you know, sharp angles is that it's really easy to cut them out. We used to do a lot of Minecraft parties, and one of the best thing about it is that we would be doing all these kind of pixelated cutouts, and because of all the angles, it made it very easy. One of the things I like to do when I'm cutting letters is I like to go all in the same direction first. So instead of, if I was doing more of a balloon letter, I would kind of follow it around, but because these are angled, I like to just kind of cut my angles and then come back and cut my straights. And then the best way to tell and make sure that you've cut everything is you flip it over. And there you can see what you're missing. So then I know what I've got cut out, and it ends up looking like this. To start, what you're going to do is take your X-Acto knife and just make a tiny little cut right at the end that you want to start. Then you take your yarn and feed it into that cut like that. So see, I just made that cut and then I just fed my yarn right into that cut. You don't have to do this a whole lot, but anytime that you're changing yarn or anytime that you feel like your yarn might be getting out of control, you can add a cut. I'm going to put a little tiny blob of glue back here, and I'm going to lay my yarn down into that glue. Just be careful with your fingers. I have Teflon fingers, so just be very careful when you do this so you don't burn yourself with the glue gun. And now you're going to start wrapping. And all you do is just start wrapping it around. Now, Frida was working on these letters because she was really intrigued by them. And one of the things that she liked is she liked kind of leaving a loose quality to it. She didn't like making it super, super tight. And of course, I'm a little bit more constricted than my sister, and so I was like all about, oh, I've got to get it in every little spot. But there is actually something really nice about being able to just have a looseness to it, like so that I can come back and kind of catch this little edge that I missed, and then I can come back over this. It's okay because the yarn is very forgiving. And now as I make my way up, what I like to do is actually take my X-Acto knife and make a little cut again here at this edge so that I've got kind of a stop gap here, because what I want to do is fill this whole area in with this yarn, and so I'm going to kind of build a wall or a barrier right here and then feed in and fill in between here so that I got this kind of barrier that creates a nice stopgap. Now, the website, the little blog that Frida found this on, and I should give them a shout out because they did a really, really nice job. The thing that they did was they actually used tape on the back. So they were doing this for like a summer camp, and they actually used tape on the back. So there you can see how that's kind of filled on in. And I'm going to end this now, so I'm just going to pull this up and around and back into that cut that I made before, and then pull it around to the back. And I'm going to use hot glue. Now, I happen to be a hot glue gal. I love hot glue. But, you know, if you're doing this with a whole bunch of people, you can actually use tape, you know, like blue painter's tape or something like that. Okay, I'm putting, as you see here, a bead of glue right there. And I've got my string, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull the string up and over and into that glue, and I'm just going to hold it here. And see, I can put the pressure on this side so that it's getting in there, getting nice and solid in there. And then as soon as that's dry, I can take my scissors, give it a little snip. And now I'm ready to go to my next color. So let's see, let's go to pink. Now, hopefully you're getting the idea here is that what you are really doing is just covering this whole thing with string. And what I'm going to do here is I think it's still hot enough that I can lay this piece in here and it'll catch, which it did, which is great. And I can use that little cut that I had before. And now I'm just going to keep going. Now, when I talk about looseness, let me show you what I mean. So as you can see, I'm kind of trying to fill my yarn in right next to the piece before it. And I'm trying to kind of cover up any little white spots. But for looseness, you can just kind of do that. Go for it. You shouldn't feel like it should reflect your personality. You shouldn't feel like you have to make it all tight and wrapped up like I did. You can kind of have this looseness, and you can kind of exit off, and you can play with this. And every time that you feel like it's slipping, just add another little cut mark, and that'll be a good stopgap for your yarn. And the other thing too that I wanted to let you know is that you can mix and match. You can cover the entire thing with washi tape if you wanted, and that could be actually very, very cute, have a totally different look. But you can also mix and match and add like washi tape. Like you could have little strips of washi tape and then you yarn over it, or you do sections that are just washi tape. Really this is, your personality again. So, if you are one of those people that likes things very rigid, you can just wrap it in the yarn, or you could add just the washi tape. It's really up to you. This is where, let your personality shine is what I say. It all looks, no matter how you do it, it always looks beautiful. It's really pretty cool. So I'm going to put this off to the side and show you what it looks like when it's all done. So this is mine in my very tightly woven way, because I'm so tightly woven. And now I'm going to add my hanger. And for my hanger, I'm going to be using these clothespins. However, if you don't have clothespins, you know what else you can use, which is really super great, are paper clips. And paper clips are one of the unsung heroes of the world. You can open a paper clip up and make like an S hook out of it, or you can leave it the way it is. You could just glue it onto the back with a little bit of the top part, poking over the top, and then you could put a hook through it that way. But we're going to be using these fabulous clothespins. And the reason we're going to use the clothespins is because then you can hang them on ribbon. So I'm just going to be using a little bit of hot glue here, and I'm just putting hot glue on the clothespin, and then I'm just going to glue it onto the back here. Now, you can glue it one of two ways. Well, actually, you can glue it many different ways, but it depends on how you want it to hang. In this case, I've glued it up and down, so this is going to hang great on a ribbon in this direction. So let me just take some of the ribbon. And you can see I'm just going to go and attach it. And then I should probably let this dry just a tiny bit more. But then, see that? It just hangs. So you could do kind of like a banner, like a birthday banner, and then you could hang this over your bed. But if you want to, you can also do the clips sideways, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So in this case, I'm going to take my clip, put glue along the back side, And this time I'm going to put it sideways. Isn't that the name of a movie? Sideways? So I put it sideways. And now I can do it this way with my ribbon hanging up and down. Like that, which is also fun. You could put this on your door. That would be really fun. And that's how you see in behind me here on the refrigerator, as you can see, I've got my name hanging from top to bottom. And that's kind of a fun way to do these. Any way you do it, I think these are fabulous and very unique, and they make your room all about you. And the best thing is you don't really need that much yarn. You can just use a whole, if you've got a knitter in your family, or you've got somebody who's a crocheter or whatever, just ask them to save their last little bits of yarn, and you could wrap this. It could be really cool if you just did like multiples of like little teeny bits and pieces. Super cool. Well, I hope you like this, and if you do and you want to use it for your room decor, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and share me with your friends, because I'd love to see all of the rooms all over the world with big yarn letters in them. And you can spell out other things other than just your name as well. Use your creativity and go wild. For more fun ideas, check us out at sophie-world.com, and if you want to subscribe, make sure you click on my face at the very end of the video. It's yarn-tastic.